Coming up, do you believe that ASO is dead? Well, I'm going to do an ASO review for Yelp to show you what they've already done to their ASO strategy and the impact on rankings and how I would take it one step further. Stay tuned. What is up, App Nation? It is Steve P. Young, founder of appmasters.co. And in this video, I'm going to share an ASO review that I did for Yelp. Now, I'm not, full disclosure, I'm not associated with Yelp. They didn't hire us for it. I just started noticing that they changed their app name because for the longest time, it was just always Yelp. And I noticed more keywords showing up in the app name recently. So I was like, hey, let me dig deeper onto this to see what kind of impact it has made and how I would take it one step further to show you that big companies, to show the big companies that there's a huge opportunity in ASO if they only realized how to do it. Because what these big companies have that we indies don't have is the millions of downloads, the funding, the ability to run different acquisition campaigns at the same time, which will only help us with ASO. So we're gonna take a look at Yelp. And again, they did not hire us. I'm just sharing you public information that you can get through the various tools out there. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, here is the Yelp ASO review. And before we start, let's take a look back at the history of Yelp. Now, for the longest time, I've always known Yelp as just Yelp in the app name. And just recently, in March of 2017, I actually saw that they switched their app name around and they started adding more keywords. I was like, finally, bigger companies are starting to take notice. And so I wanted to dig in a little bit deeper. And as I dug deeper, I just thought it was a March 2017 type of change. But as I dug deeper, they actually started making that change back in November. So November 29th, they changed their app name from Yelp, which has always been the case, to Yelp, the best local food, drinks, services, and more. And here's where they were ranking for certain keywords. So I pulled out restaurants, I added that in, but the rest of the keywords that I put in here for their rankings were keywords that are in the app name. So if you think about ASO, the biggest weight that you're gonna get, the biggest bang for your buck, is gonna be the keywords in your actual app name. So I pulled those keywords. And here's before the optimization, how they were ranking for those particular keywords. So restaurant, they were already doing well because they're a brand name. Yelp, they're number 6. Drinks, they weren't ranking for. Services, they weren't ranking for. And local food, they were number 4. Okay, so let's take a look just a week after the update, what happened to the rankings. Now, as you can see, restaurants, they went up to number 1. Now, they're probably around number 2, number 3 right now. But drinks, boom, immediately started ranking for 17. Now, this is like literally a week after they optimized it, right? And then services, they're number 3, and local food, they're number 1. So as you can see, real impact almost immediately based off going from just Yelp to Yelp, the best local food, drinks, services, and more. So what happened? I don't have the downloads because I'm not working with Yelp, but all I can see is the rankings. So let's take a look at their US rankings after the optimization. Let me go back real quick. So here's what happened, all right? And I wanted this slide up here too. I want to go back to this slide. As you can see, before the optimization, the week after, they're hovering. Here, I'm going to pull this. Yeah, here you go. They're hovering around the 50 to 75 range in terms of US overall, right? Travel, they're doing great. They're always in the top 2. But US overall, they're just hovering around this 50 to 75 ranking. Now, after the update, here's when they made the change. You notice that they're starting to go up, all the way up. Now they're in the 20s, the 30s range. So they had an immediate impact right after they made that change. Those keywords drove real volume. Now, I don't have the exact downloads numbers, but I can just look at the keyword rankings and see that, hey, there's some stuff going on right here. I don't know what happened with this big dip right here, but there was some real good rankings based off just the optimization. This is just my hypothesis, by the way. They could have been running more acquisition campaigns, but I can see that based off the keyword rankings, the increased keyword rankings, and the volume based off of those keyword rankings, that ASO had a part of the reason why they saw the increase. All right, now let's take a look at the current day when I actually notice the keywords in there. So they're in the number 3, and they made a recent change around March, the end of March 2017. And it went from Yelp, the best local food, drink, services, and more, to Yelp, nearby restaurants, shopping, and services. Again, I think if I were them, I would have had restaurants instead of local food in the very start because they're already ranking really well for it. And having that in the app name would even get them to the 1 or 2 spot already. But hey, they finally realized, and here's what it looks like on the App Store. Yelp, nearby restaurants, shopping, and services. So here's what I would do. Because I don't have the keyword rankings yet, this was just, I'm recording this on March 28th, and this app name was updated around March 23rd. So I don't have enough stats or rankings to show, hey, is this a better improvement or not? But we can look at the rankings, and I'm going to show you what I would do if I were Yelp on how to improve this a little bit more. Number 1, I would target local food instead of shopping. And I'll tell you why. If you look at shopping, they're ranking number 32 for this. But if you look at local food, here, I can do this. I love this thing. They're ranking number 32. There's a lot of traffic for it, so it's good. But if you look at local food, pretty decent traffic, 32. That's not bad at all. And they're number 5. So they were number 1 when they had it in the app name, but since they took it out, they dropped to number 5. Now, when I think of shopping, I think of maybe Zappos or Amazon or things like that. I don't immediately think of actual shopping or Yelp, right? So I think 1, it's a very generic term, and it doesn't really signify what Yelp is good at, which is nearby. So maybe even malls is a better term than shopping. So I don't really like shopping there. And I see that local food, since you're already really high for that term, why give it up? So I would probably take shopping out and then find something different in terms of like malls or, I don't know, boutique shops, those type of terms that kind of signify local, things nearby, rather than just shopping generic, because that could be anything. It could be online shopping, Amazon, so forth. All right, as you can see, they were number 1. This is what I wanted to point out. They were number 1 for local foods. And so why lose that ranking when you had that already? So go back into it. All right, number 2, utilize the Spanish Mexico localization. Now, I'm sure if you've been following my blog for a long time, you've heard me talk about this, but the US App Store actually indexes the Spanish Mexico localization. So if you put English keywords in the Spanish Mexico localization, then you can literally double the amount of keywords that you're targeting. And we've been able to get a lot of our clients ranking for really high traffic terms using this hack. Now I'm going to show you what Yelp currently has in the Spanish Mexico localization. They've done a good job of localizing the content. So their descriptions localized, their app is actually localized, their screenshots are localized. Everything is localized for it except the app name, which, like, it's good. I'm sure the keywords are obviously localized too. But here's what I would do if I were them, because in looking in Sensor Tower, the majority of their users are in the US and I don't even see Mexico in here. I might just can the whole thing. I might have a good description, but I might utilize the app name and the keywords for English for the US market to really go after the specific terms. That's what I would do. I get really aggressive. So here's my suggested app name for Yelp in the Spanish Mexico localization. All right. Cleaning services, what I found was if you look up services, you'll find that if you just look at your phone and then you just sort of put in services, it auto-populates. That's one of my favorite ways of figuring out like which keywords to go after. And cleaning service is one of them. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. Let me put that in there. And I pulled the data, I pulled the data and you can see, here, let me pull this with my little marker, that 96% chance, according to Mobile Action, that you can rank really well for it. And there's decent amount of traffic. 24 is not bad at all. So I would put that into the app name, cleaning services, because there's a good chance that I'm going to rank really high for it, that I would say, okay, let me put it into the Spanish Mexico localization. And then lastly, I want to go rank again for local food. So if Yelp said, hey, Steve, you're baloney. Shopping is a big growth category for us, so we need it there. I'll say, okay, well, let's put local food because you're already ranking well for it right now. You're number 5, probably as a keyword. Let's put that in the app name. Let's put it in the US keyword and Spanish Mexico app name, which will help you with the rankings and likely get you from 5 to maybe 2 or 1. Let's put it into the actual app name here because you're already number 5. Let's try to increase that rank. And then lastly, food delivery, which Yelp is making a big push for, especially with the Eat24 acquisition. I would put that into the app name here too. I was running out of keywords and I wanted to target food delivery. I thought I could do it really good here because I still have local food and then I have food delivery, and I really like the traffic scores right here. It's 55. If you look at shopping, it's 62. So it's pretty close to what shopping already is. And you're 126, which means you're not ranking at all for this term, really. And so if you put it into the Spanish Mexico app name, you're able to increase ranks for that one. Okay. Lastly, if they wanted to do just keep all the keywords the same, because I don't know their strategy, I don't know what they're working on, I would reorganize the US app name. Okay. And here's what I would do. I would call it Yelp. So right now, current day, as I'm recording this, it's Nearby Restaurant Shopping and Services. Okay. Nearby Restaurant Shopping and Services. All I did was remove nearby and put near me at the end. Now this still fits the 50 character length for Apple. And there's 2 reasons why I did this. Number 1, you want very important keywords to be at the leftmost of your app name. So Yelp is obviously the leftmost. You can't remove that. But if you can get restaurants, shopping, or services into the leftmost, that's going to be better. So I removed that front in the nearby and moved it into the back. And number 2 is there's actually more traffic for restaurants near me than restaurants nearby, or even nearby restaurants, which they're ranking really well for, nearby restaurants and restaurants nearby, both iterations, but there's more traffic. Now this is Apple search ad, so it's really from the source for restaurants near me. So you get a double win-win. One, you get restaurants to the top, close to the left of the app name, and also you're able to rank better for a keyword that has significantly more traffic than restaurants nearby. That's what I would do. All right, that's it. So if you want to learn more about our ASO strategy, there's a master course that we have. It is called ASO Masters. If you go to asomasters.co, you'll find that course there. If you're a big company and you want sort of our consultation or you want to work together, fill out the contact form up there on our website and let me know, or go to appmasters.co. If you're watching this on YouTube, appmasters.co/contact would get you there, but just go to appmasters.co. The big contact form is there, and we can schedule a quick little 15-minute chat and then talk about how we would execute on this strategy. Hope that was helpful. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, comment, like the video. And if you got any questions or you want us to see a different review like this probably took me about 30 minutes to 45 minutes to put all together. But if you want to see more of this, I want to target bigger companies in terms of like what I would do for these companies, because I do feel like even Uber, if you look at it now, it's just Uber. If they optimize just a little bit, I'm sure they could do a little bit better. And it's not even a little bit better, much better. Like here, this last thing I'll leave with is this chart right here. If you look at the rankings, this is just a key ASO, but if you look at the rank history, let's end with this. You'll see that there were probably other variables. So I don't have the full backstory. There are probably other variables, but just that change alone went from staying within this 50-75 of top US overall to all the way to 25 and 30, 25 and 50. And really, when I look at it, it's around that 25 to 30 mark. And so just that little optimization change made that quick shift for Yelp. And that's the advantage of a big company. Like, you have those downloads, you have the branding, you have the leverage. People are actually searching for your brand already. So you're already getting those downloads. Just a few added keywords would just help you immensely. All right, that's it, guys. Appreciate your time. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.